What up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to another episode of the Imperfect Action Show. You know what it is, guys. You know what it is, man. Today's episode gonna be crazy. I got the youngest entrepreneur that I've ever had on the show, and he's gonna be on the show today talking that spicy talk around stocks and options. Right? Here he comes right now. Let me have him tap in.
There
Here,
we go.
here we go. So look,
Yes,
before we
sir,
get
sir.
into it, as you guys know, the Imperfect Action Show, what we do, we bring people on that are going to talk about business or marketing principles, strategies, or lessons you can literally take right now in real time and implement that into your business so you can get a result, a free result, right? Because I want you guys to take your business and elevate your business to the next level. Quick little sponsorship. Today's episode is sponsored by my program, The Authority Builder. So if you're a coach consultant, right, a course creator, and you're looking to make more money online, you're looking to take your business to the next level, and maybe you're just stuck on marketing. Maybe marketing is a gap for you. You don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? You're stuck on a 2 or 3K, whatever situation may be. Literally, what you want to do is you want to click the link in the caption, right? Click the link in the caption. You want to jump on the call because we can get you to your ideal month. So if it's 5K, 10K, 20K, I'm literally going to give you a strategy to help you get clear on marketing so you can make more money, make more sales, and grow your community, right? So that's today's sponsor. So
That's that.
on the show today, we got the youngest entrepreneur that's ever been on Imperfect Action. Boy's 19. He's in the stock market and he talks about stocks very confidently. He knows what it is, right? So there's so many things I want to ask him, and I know there's probably so many things that you guys want to ask him. So before we even talk about stocks and why young entrepreneurs got it better than older entrepreneurs in the stock game, CEO Sean, why don't you tell him a little bit about yourself and how you even got into stocks?
Yes, sir. What's going on, everybody? My name is CEO Sean. I'm just gonna get my full name, Sean Bennett. But yeah, I'm a 19-year entrepreneur. Like he just said, I'm a entrepreneur, options trader, and a mentor now because I teach young adults and teenagers how they can make $100 to $1,000 a day trading options in the stock market and how to tap into their potential at a young age. And I get just to give a little backstory, just a quick backstory. I'm just a regular kid. I just happen to make different decisions than most people did at this age. And all my goal is to help people understand that you don't need to be special in order to have special things happen to you in life. So that's my whole goal.
All right, man. So real quick though. So you're 19. How long you been doing this? How long you been serious about stocks?
Literally a year. This has been a year and about 3 months, 4 months, literally. It's
And what
crazy.
brought you what intrigues you about this marketplace where you felt like, you know what, I could come here, I'm interested in learning this craft and obviously getting better at it.
I'd have to say just for me seeing different people because when I typically see people that's doing something or they're doing something well, I typically don't look at them and say, "Oh, they're just better or they're this or they're that." Like I know I can do it because once I understood the steps and what it took to actually get there, I was like, I'm willing to do that. So I just say, "Let me do it." And it didn't really come down to options for real. It just came down to picking one thing and sticking to it, and then like
Mm.
mastering that one thing. Because again, like I tell people all this all the time, like I have plenty. My mentors are all millionaires, but they all do different things. It's not to say like, but they're not. That's the thing. They're doing one thing good, not multiple. So you just got to pick one, and then from there you just master that lane, and then eventually you'll be a millionaire, and then eventually you can branch off later. But pick one, and then from there just build it up.
So what did you find that you were doing that other people, well, other teenagers your age are doing? Like, why did you decide to get a little bit more serious? Why don't you got the Oculus on right now, chilling in the Web3? Why aren't you just hanging out, watching the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? Why are you deciding to take this entrepreneurship journey more serious at the age you're on right now?
So I had something happen with a friend of mine basically, and when I was in high school, like in my new high school, because just a little backstory, like when I was in middle school and high school, like ninth grade, I was always getting into fights, always getting in trouble with people. I was always either getting bullied or I was trying to like pick fights with people basically because I just never backed down because I was always very standoffish because I lost my sister when she was 5, and then after that, I just kind of just I didn't know how to like channel my emotions properly. I didn't know what was going on. I came off as very annoying, and I just didn't. I wasn't really good at making friends, basically. But when I got to my new high school, I was good at making friends because I was good at focusing on them and not me. Because I
Mm,
was good at paying attention to them, listening to them, giving to them. You know, obviously, when you give, you receive, basically. So my receiving end was just friendship with them, and I was always friends with people. I didn't get no fights, no nothing. But it caused me to be drained because now I'm giving to everybody else. And then there was this one person that I was friends with. We met and we was in 10th grade, and from there we just was friends just until we graduated, basically. And eventually something happened, basically, where she basically liked me or something like that, and she had a boyfriend already. But we basically, long story short, she cheated on him basically with me and lied about it because I asked her like, hey, like, are you with anybody and all that stuff? Basically, she was like, no, like, I'm not with him anymore. She had this whole sob story, basically. And we started doing stuff. And then eventually, before we even did anything crazy, I was like, no, real talk, like, be real with me. Like, are y'all still together, basically? And then eventually she came out and said, like, yeah, we're still together. I didn't officially break it off. So I'm like, bro, why would you do that? Mind you, her boyfriend was like, mind you, I'm like 5'8", something like that. The guy was like 6'3", like all that stuff. I'm like, bro, why? Now I got to be in a situation where I got to be in a. I wasn't getting into fights anymore, but now I have a position where you position me in this place where it's like I did it. And then she tried to say that I took advantage of her and then
damn.
basically tried to put it off on me. I was like, wow. And mind you, the girl is not like, because again, like, I'm a pretty lean dude, you know what I'm saying? But she was more like, really that lean, basically. I just got to say that. Let's just say that. But it wasn't that it didn't make sense. So when we went over the story and stuff like that to him, like explaining to him what happened, because she told him for some reason. So I had to explain to him the whole thing, what happened, and eventually he was just like cool with me. He was like, yeah, basically how you're telling me the story, it makes sense. She's lying to me right now, and then that whole situation just deaded the whole friendship, basically. But that caused me to focus, like, realize something, like, I'm focusing on everybody else except me. Like, I'm
Mm.
focusing on everybody else's well being, success, and what they think about me rather than focusing on me in general. So that's when I just, at that point, I blocked all my friends that I had that I was playing video games with, that I was going out with, that I was having fun with, blocked them all, just didn't talk to them. And I just kind of isolated myself, and I just started looking up, what do I want to do? And I said I wanted to be an entrepreneur because I wanted to make a lot of money. I wanted to make a lot of impact, and I didn't want to work because it's just everybody was doing it. I just didn't like doing what everybody else was doing. I never did. Like, I always go against the grain in some way, shape, or form, even with my parents. They'll tell me go iron my clothes for school. I'll put them in the dryer, put it on firm press, and then take them out and then hang them up, and they'll still be wrinkle free. But I didn't have to do anything because I'm thinking I want to get the same outcome, but in a different way, in a way that I don't have to work as hard or I don't have to do something the exact same way that everybody else is doing. So
So critical thinking, bro. I can see that. I can
yeah,
see it out of all of you right now. So
I try to be very analytical.
so listen, I was talking to some of my uh clients in my challenge because I'm doing a 5-day challenge this week. And then
Yeah,
I told them my formula for success, which is basically like my EMC equals squared, right? Is it
yeah,
equals
E
MC squared
equals
situation, right?
yeah,
And I was like, yo, is DC equals S, meaning discipline and consistency is gonna equal success. So one of the
mm,
things I hear from you, because my next question before we get into the stocks, the next question was like,
yeah,
what? Because I hear what you're saying, but I'm still like,
yeah,
okay, I understand that, but what is it inside of you that made you like, yo, I don't want to do what y'all are doing? You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? I'm gonna do this because the reason why I'm asking you that is because for some people, even like myself, like I'm
yeah,
41, right?
mm,
So it took me a little longer for me to get serious about me doing what I wanted to do for me. And I actually had to go
yeah,
through a couple of businesses. I had to go through a bunch of different stages of lost people in my life and even friendships. And
yeah.
I actually had to move to a whole nother city.
Wow.
So a lot of things was going on that got me to the point in my late 30s when I was like, it's go time.
Yeah,
So hearing you being like, it's already ingrained with me. Like I just want to do what they're not doing. Like I'm not
yeah,
y'all are doing that. All right, that's so I know I need to stay away from that. So you kind of answered the question because I want to know like what was it like what really is inside of you that's like you know what I ain't doing that. This is what I want to do. I want to make money. I want to impact people. You know what I'm saying? I realize that I can make the money in different arenas. I really just gotta pick the one that I feel like I want to do and just stick with it long enough until it
yeah,
works. You know what I'm saying? So that's really crazy. And I would say it's admirable for me to hear that you say that and realize the self confidence and the desire for you to continue on this path. So I just gotta give you some love on that real quick.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now let's talk about these stocks, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's talk about these stocks. Let's talk about these options. Let's talk about these ETFs and all that. But number one,
Right.
I wanna know, where do you get the idea? Because I want to hear you say it. I want people to hear it too. That young
Yeah.
entrepreneurs actually have the advantage in stocks over
Yeah.
the older entrepreneurs.
So the thing I learned, like from most of my mentors, is time in the market is better than timing the market. So the more time that you actually
Mm,
have acclimated with something, it's better than you trying to figure out where to fit in or where to get in or where to do this. Like timing, being having a lot of time in the market allows you to be way more successful. Like the fact that I'm even this far in a year is almost like it's just ridiculous. But that's because of the amount of people that I've been surrounded by and the amount of lessons that I had to learn quickly. Because I've had losses, but the difference is I learned from those things quickly, and I like harped on those losses over my wins. And I feel like for young entrepreneurs, it's easy, even in stocks and anything, but like anything that they do, they have like leverage. And most people don't think, like, if it's something as simple as if there's a 10-year-old outside of Walmart with some cookies, people are going to buy it from her. But if it's a 30-year-old outside of Walmart with some cookies, they're going to be like, yo, get a job. What the heck are you doing selling cookies and stuff like that? But it might be the same woman, same everything, but one is 10, one is 30. That age gap, because they rather support because they are young, because that's what we were taught. If you're young, support the younger people, allow them to grow, allow them to see different things, etc. So because they have that, they have the upper hand. They have the upper hand in terms of market acquisition. When it comes to, I mean, client acquisition, it comes to marketing, when it comes to getting funded, when it comes to getting donations, whatever it is, because people are more willing to give. So all they have to do is just know what to do with it or use it correctly. We just typically use it to go play games or go buy food or go did, but we can literally take all that money and invest it in ourselves, and we're literally set to be millionaires before we even turn 18. Like I started late. Like I started when I was
like
17
that,
turning 18. I was late.
like that. Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's just, people don't understand. Like my friends, like actually before I didn't think I could be an entrepreneur until I was in my 20s, 30s, 40s, because again, that's all I saw. So when I saw a young entrepreneur, he was 13 or 14 at the time. I think he was 15. I think it was like 14 or 15. When I first saw him and I saw that he was a millionaire already, I was like, wait, what? And he was black, 15, didn't even look like he had puberty yet, but he's a millionaire. I'm like, oh heck no. Yeah, that's nah. We gotta put our foot on the gas. Like I'm late. And most people look at me like, oh my God, you're so early in the game. I'm like, that's cool and all, but you don't know who my friends are. You don't know who I've been hanging around. Like I have been in entrepreneurship less than all of my friends that I have right now. They've been in entrepreneurship for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. One of my friends is 15, but he's been in entrepreneurship 7, 8 years. Like they've been putting their time in. That's what I'm saying. For me, it's a blessing that I'm even this far and that I've been able to learn from my lessons now, because having that much time is like, it's just, that's insane. Time is the greatest commodity that you could
So
have.
let's talk about the underlying key word that you mentioned in there, and I'm not sure if
Yeah,
everybody got it, but I feel like that key word is the word leverage, bro. So
leverage.
I think you identified at an early age that, you know what, we actually have the leverage, because using that same example that you used, right, selling cookies, you got the older person and the younger person, they both outside the store selling cookies. You know, people are gonna naturally gravitate to the younger person because they're inclined to help out the younger person just because
Yeah,
that person is younger. So that means automatically young people have a sense of leverage. And leverage in the world is 100% everything.
literally. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So being able to identify the leverage at an early point actually makes people more inclined to want to work with you, to
yeah,
collaborate with you, and actually become a client of yours, because they're like, not only do they feel like they can get access to information, but they just want to help out and support.
exactly.
So if you're a younger person, you can key in on that. I think you could definitely take advantage of a lot of opportunities out here. So we got a quick question for the community. This one coming from the King Entrepreneur. His question is
Yeah.
this: is there a way to get into stocks if I don't have much time due to other businesses? Great
Mm.
question. Great question.
So I asked a question in return and now kind of answer it from two sides of it. So can I get into stocks if I'm still working? So do
Yeah,
you mean
good,
investing in stocks or trading stocks? If you mean
good
trading
question.
stocks, then it just depends on what your schedule is because I know some people like matter of fact, I have a friend, my mom's friend actually. She trades options as well, but she has a full-time job. So
Mm.
what she does is she does swing trades. She does like swing trades and leap options. So she'll take her money and she'll get into long-term investments. She'll still chart and stuff like that before work. But then once she has like a break or something like that, she'll get her swing trades in and just let those run. She doesn't day trade because she can't because of her job, but she still is, doing trading in general because she's able to take advantage of those long term. But if you're just buying stocks, oh yeah, you could just do that anytime pretty much. You could literally just buy a stock or something like that and you're good. But in terms of trading though, that's when it's kind of like it's a little bit difficult.
That's a great question, man. So, I actually got a follow up question to that because it made me think of
Yeah,
something. So, if you're definitely more so on that passive situation where you may be too busy to get into day trading. So you mentioned the swing, and then the leap options and things like that. What
yeah,
about what about actually fractionalized investing? So what if you just
yeah,
what if you taking $50 a month, $100 a month, what I'm saying, 10%, 15% off of the income that you're bringing in. You don't really know what you want to get into, but you know you want to get into it. Would that be an option
yeah.
for some people to consider if they wanted to diversify their investing in different stocks by doing fractionalized investing?
Of course. Actually, yeah, I actually started out doing fractionalized investment too because again, like when I first started, I didn't have that much, but I did want to invest my money. I did want to put it into different stocks and stuff like that. So, yeah, definitely, especially if you want to do fractional shares, I recommend just if you have your paycheck, just take a certain percentage of that, just put that aside, just make sure you put into different stocks. It depends on what you want to do. Again, if you want to have more sustainable growth, then I recommend getting ETFs. Like ETFs are exchange traded funds. Just think of it like a basket of stocks. It's just a basket of multiple different stocks in one little thing. So now they kind of move together, basically. So it just moves. It's a little bit slower, but it's more safer in most cases. But if you get a stock, for example, like Tesla or something like that, it'll go up. It might go up to 1,200. It might come down to 700, and then it might go back up to 1,200 again. It's just very up and down. So you could get it buy low and then hold it, and then that you can do take advantage of that too, or you can buy those in during the recession when it truly pulls back like a very heavy amount. You can load up there, and then from there you can just let those things build up.
So what's a good strategy? And King said trading or investing either way. So
Yeah,
what's a good strategy if somebody wants to get going for the first time, right? So if they
yeah,
don't know anything about what companies to buy, what I'm saying, like I heard something where like, well, if there's certain brands that you're currently wearing every day or you're currently investing in or that you have that are part of your life during the week, during the month, maybe you're brand loyal
yeah.
to a certain extent. Is that good advice for them to start buying the companies that are actually parts of the brands that they own in their everyday life?
Yeah, so here's the thing about that. So I've heard both sides of it because my mentor told me like, hey, you can start out like this, and some people say don't, and I understood why. So here's my take on it. So if you have no clue what like stocks are in general, you could just look around your room and you can find different companies basically. You could just say, all right, what brand is this? All right, this is Nike. Okay, I can look this up. Now, all you got to do is just type in Google, what is Nike stock or something like that. And the ticker symbol, all that stuff will pop up. Ticker symbol is just the license plate basically for the stock, basically, for the company. So you could just look up all that information will come up there. And then from there, even if you don't know any information, you could just start looking up certain videos like, hey, is X a good company, or is X a good company, or is this doing good, or how is this? Even if you don't know anything, you can still ask those common, like basically not common sense, but like simple questions, like basic questions, like, hey, what company is this, or what company is this? Like, what company is like? Let's say you have a shoe, right? Let's say you have a Forever 21 shoe. Like, hey, Forever 21 stock, and then the information will pop up. Like, you can start off like that. So start off with what you have like around you, but as you progress still, I want you to still be able to like kind of dive deeper a little bit into like what you're actually getting into. Because for example, if you were to get into, let's say 5 years ago or 4 years ago, you were to get into a stock that you just had around your house, like a game, and you got it from GameStop, and you got that. then that might not be the best investment because GameStop overall is not really a good company. But you can kind of tell though, because here's the thing: like for example, GameStop, a basic example, everybody used to go in to get their game. Everybody used to do it, but now you can buy the games online. So now you ask yourself a simple question of why are they a good company, or what do they do, or how are they making money, or like you could just check that, and you can just check. And this is something everybody can do. I want everybody to go do this. Look up the 20-year chart of X. And I just want you to put a company. So 20-year chart of X. A 20-year chart. So that means it's going to show you a chart of how long that stock has been locked for about 20 years. All you want to do is just see the direction it's going in. If it's going up, it's a good company. If it's going down, it's a bad company. GameStop, before the pump basically, it was going down drastically over and over, year after year. It was going down, right? So that's not really the best company to invest in if you want to like hold long term. If there's a stock that's going up over time. Now that's a good stock to look into getting long term. But now all you got to do is saying, all right, it's a good company. Now when there's a recession or when there's a pullback or when there's like a market crash or when there's like a little pullback in the price or it's discounted, now you can load up at a cheaper price and know that later on it's going to keep going up because it's been doing this for the last 20 years. That's like a simple way of like, getting into investing. But like, yeah. So my take on it, yeah, you can look at certain companies around your house, but start off like that, but don't stay that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
that definitely makes sense. That definitely makes sense. So the easiest thing you can do is just look around. You can make a list of like, what companies that are literally in your house right now, maybe in your
Yeah.
bedroom right now. Make that list. Then you can take the strategy. You said, okay, cool. I don't really know nothing about nothing right now when it comes to stocks, trading, stock market, things like that. But let me just type in, you know, X company 20-year chart. You can look at, okay, I got Adidas, Nike, maybe you got some Louis Vuitton in there, whatever the brands are that are in your crib. You
Yeah.
can look at the charts over the 20-year period, and then let's say you got 10 companies. So over those 10 companies, you can look at, okay, what 3 or 4 of these companies actually are performing better than the other companies that are literally in my house right now, which I think is a crazy
Yeah.
cheat code. And then that at least can get you going. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? I think that's a great point. I think that's a great strategy. Okay,
Yeah.
so my question is this to you regarding stocks, stock market trading. Do you
Yeah.
feel like this is something that everyone needs to incorporate in their life, right? So I guess that when I say, people got a savings account for the most part, you got a checking account, you got your rent or your mortgage, you
Yeah.
got your car payment, lease or finance, you got food every month, every week, or that case may be. Should stocks also be something that's commonplace that people should just be doing in their everyday situation? And if you feel
Yeah.
like it is or it's not, why or why not?
It depends on some people's situation. Like, obviously, like Elon Musk or something like that. Obviously, you don't have to get into trading options. You're already solid anyway. But if you are like, like regular individual, you're just starting out, you're at 6 figures, 5 figures, whatever it is, or even at 7 figures for like, it just depends on how much time you have. If you have like an hour a day to where you can just sit and trade and you can make some money with that, then yeah, I recommend it. I obviously, whether it's investing or whether it's trading, you need to be in the stock market in some way, shape, or form because you need that diversity, whether it is investing in stocks or whether it is investing in like long term growth. Because again, like so people have made like I have mentors that have made $1 million in a day trading options, just trading options in general for like an hour, 2 hours a day. Like, and that's it. So it's as simple as asking you, hey, would you want to make $1 million in a day? Like, after putting a certain amount of time in, because obviously, if I say, hey, if you start out at 6 figures, let's say you start out with 100K or something like that, that you're making a year, and I teach you, and you study this for 4 or 5 years, and now you're able to make 100K in a day or 1 million in a day, would you do it? If you say yes, then yes, the stock market in terms of trading, that's for you. Because again, it's a common sense thing in terms of the skill, like how much you can make, but it also comes down to how much time are you actually putting in, like how much time are you invested into learning it. Most people aren't willing to learn it. That's where
Mm.
it kind of comes down to. It's a common sense thing of like, hey, how much money you can make. Because if I say, hey, you want to make 1 million a day, everybody gonna be like, heck yeah. But are they gonna put in the work? Are they gonna study? Are they gonna be able to handle, um, the learning process of getting into it? that is just up to everybody else. Because some people just don't want to do it. Like around my age, some people don't want to do it because it's out of their comfort zone. But that's with everything good in life.
Yep.
You have to get out your comfort zone. Like me going to these conferences and stuff like that. It's out of my comfort zone. I like trading. I don't like talking to people preferably. I just like to be introverted. Make my money, don't gotta market, talk to nobody, none of that. I could just sit here and just make my money and then go to sleep. I like that. But when I go to these conferences, it steps out of my comfort zone, but I do it so much that now people think I'm comfortable.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you seem comfortable to me. I mean, we wouldn't even met if you wasn't at the conference, like interacting, doing your thing. So that's 100%. Um, Man, that's crazy to really think about that. All right, so let's go. Let's get back to the stocks because I like one of the
Yeah,
things you said is people look at it or they don't do it because they feel uncomfortable. So
yeah,
they avoid it or they procrastinate or they delay it. So
yeah.
what do you feel like is a misconception around stocks that most people just think about that prevents them from getting in it?
They think that what they see is the problem or the obstacle. So what I mean by that is like they might see the sheet balance sheets or they might see the chart and they might just be like, man, that looks super complicated. I'm not really feeling that. I'm just not going to do anything with it. Because they'll see a chart and they'll just be like, nope. I see a chart and I'm like, oh, I could have took that for money. I could have took this play. I could have took this other, just because I understand it. The real problem, it's easy. It might like I'm not even going to hold you. Like the charting, all that technical stuff and all those lines and all that stuff. That's the easy part of trading. That's the easy part of investing. Super easy. The hard part is the mindset portion. That's the hardest part of this whole entire thing because like okay, I'll just say it like this. I can teach you how to play basketball. You might be able to play basketball in the gym by yourself, hit up threes and all that stuff, but can you actually step in the game and perform the exact same way? Then it's like a no situation. Like you can be in the gym hitting up shots, doing all these things, stuff like that, dribbling all that stuff. But if I put you against the Lakers, against Kobe in 2000 and let's say 2017, 2018 or something like that, and it's the NBA Finals, are you going to perform the same way? And you still practice, you still were in the gym, cool, but is your mindset right? Is your ability to handle that situation and still focus on your skill? Can you do that? And most people can't do it. That's why people think trading is hard because they think it's like, oh my god, it's all these charts and stuff. That's the easy part. That's easy. You just not giving it a chance. Once you actually, the real problem is you. That's the real problem when it comes to trading.
Yo, I think that's a super bar right there, because I think you're right. A lot of people see the charts, they see the candlesticks, they see those numbers, they see the Nasdaq. You know what I'm saying? The SP
Yeah,
500, and they're like, I don't understand what that is. That look crazy to me. What are these lines and all of that? And I think that's just like a barrier, right, to keep people away from it when really, like you said,
yeah,
that's the easy part that you can learn. When the real skill for you to sharpen, for you to really understand, is the mindset behind being able to sit in trades or learn different things or be
yeah,
consistent or be disciplined or not get ahead of yourself, like working your strategy. You know what I'm saying? So I think
yeah,
I think that I think that's a super gem right there. Because you're right. It's like the mindset is key. So would you say the mindset is the mindset in learning how to trade and becoming a more versed trader, is that the same or different to the same type of mindset you might have to have as an entrepreneur? Where have you? What is there a correlation? Is there a little bit of difference? Like what would you say?
um, I'd have to say it's pretty much almost the exact same way. I correlate it to sales.
Mm,
The reason I say sales is, um, you have to be repetitive. You have to be consistent. You have to kind of stick to the script, what you're supposed to say, what you're supposed to do, not go off like not just go off do what you emotionally feel. Like the thing about trading, if you only care about you, if you only focus on your emotions or your feelings or your thought thinking, you will lose. And the reason is because like if I'm in a fight, for example, like if I'm in a UFC fight, right? If I'm so focused on all right, how should I throw this punch, or how should I throw this, or how should I do that? But I'm not focused on, all right, he's about to do this, or he has the tendency to do this, so I'm gonna dodge and counter and then hit him with, like, now I know how to focus on me, but I can't focus on him. So this is a one sided fight, and I'm gonna lose because he's prepared and I'm not. And most people fail to kind of realize that when it comes to trading because they're so focused on like themselves and like how they feel and what they think and stuff like that. But in reality, you have to see it from both sides. And I feel
Mm,
like the reason I've able to been somewhat successful in the market in terms of successful as in from where I want to be in terms of like making my goal for myself is I want to make 100K a day with ease. Like I don't even have to like sweat or anything like that. That's a 10%, 5% trade right there. That's my form of success in terms of when it comes to trading. So I'm still building up to that point, but again, it takes time. But in terms of me, I've progressed far because I'm able to kind of sit from both sides. Because like that's how I naturally was when I was in school. I was always very self-aware because I had to make sure that I understood everybody else's perspective so that way I could be cool with them. So now when it comes to the market, it's like, okay, there if I'm buying, somebody else is selling. So because you can't buy without selling something, that's just not how it works. You have to have both. So that means you have to think about it. All right, who's winning or who's losing in this situation? Who's about to fail or who's about to win? Like you have to think about that. You also think about like, all right, why are they selling? All right, they're selling because they think it's about to do a reversal, but now it's setting up like this. So I think it's going to do this, and now I execute it properly because I'm able to see from both perspectives. But if I was to just see from where I think it is, I mean, that's just a one-sided relationship is not a relationship. Like, I mean, I mean, you've been through that a little bit. Like, one-sided
yes,
relationship
sir.
is never good. Like, you have to see both sides. That's how marriages prosper. That's how everything prospers. In business, if two partners are only thinking about what they feel like or what they want to do, it's not going to be a good business. They have to be able to say, all right, how do you feel? All right, I understand how you feel, so I'm going to act accordingly, or I'm going to do this, or we got to do this. Now we can work together, basically. So you have to see it like that.
I would 100% agree with you. I think giving a little bit more insight on that mindset, but at the same time, thinking about the next move in correlation with the other party, I think
Yeah,
that definitely gives you more insight with how to move and how to strategically set up your plays. So, all right, y'all. So, look, we're really at the top of the hour. We've got a couple minutes over. I want to give a
yeah,
Sean opportunity to let you guys know what he has going on and how you can tap into him. Right before we
of
do
course.
that, though, we got one last question before you give them all the information on how they can tap in with you. This one's coming from Whitney.
That
She
that.
asks, "Did you ever get into forex? And
Mm.
if so, how was your experience?"
I've tried forex before, and I'll just say this: cryptocurrencies, forex, options, trading stocks. When it comes to the charting and all that stuff, the candlesticks and technical analysis, all that, they're all the same. But when it comes to the fundamentals behind it, or why they move, or why they go up and down, that's different. So forex is more of like for example, if Biden spends a whole bunch of money or something like that, the value of the U.S. dollar decreases. So you trade that versus some other countries' currency. So if it's the U.S. dollar to Great Britain, if the U.S. dollar is tanking because Biden's spending all this money, then you can trade that when it comes to like forex. Basically, you trade between government's value based on their currency and stuff like that. And when it comes to stocks and options, you're trading different businesses and like how they're valued and stuff like that. So that's kind of the difference. I've tried both, and stocks was just better for me because you can research it. For me personally, I just researched it better. It was just a better market for me, and I was going to invest in stocks anyway. So I was like, I might as well.
That sounds like I mean, that sounds good to me, bro. I like how you broke that down. Like the differences between the forex and then trading. So what you're actually trading,
Yeah,
and then which one, and then obviously choosing the one that makes more sense for you to be at. But it's really the same thing. It's just different commodities.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's literally it.
All right, man. So look, I want the community and people that are watching replay to understand how they can tap in with you. How can they work more closely to you? How can they learn the game as you're teaching it? How can they get how can they grab a course or program? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
like what's going on?
what's going? So all right. I'm actually having a webinar upcoming, and I'm going to teach you guys literally what my options trading strategy is and how you guys can actually get into the market as well. Like how to get in if you're a beginner. Like I'm literally teaching you all the game on how you can get into trading options. I'm giving you my strategy on the call, and I'm going to be doing giveaways and stuff like that on the class too. So if you want to come in, you can tap in. You can literally just go to my page at CEO with Sean. So CEOASHON on Instagram, and you can literally just click the link in my bio, and you can just go to the class. And if you do want to get my courses, I have a option trading blueprint, which teaches you the basics of how to get into the market. And then I also have you can pre-order my strat course, which is literally a whole course on my strategy right now. Like I packaged up my entire strategy. I work with my friends. He actually doing 6-7 figures right now trading options, and we kind of put this thing together. I just got the information from his side, from my side, and we kind of packaged it up. And yeah, so if you want to get that, then you can just click the link in my bio as well. But yeah, I really want you guys to be in the class though, because it's a free class, by the way. So it's free. Like you don't have to pay for anything. And literally, I'm giving you all the game on the class for free. Like you literally just can tap in with me, get the game, and you don't got to pay a dime.
And then that program that you was just talking about, because I know you have sent me the link, and which the link
Yeah,
is
yeah,
actually in the caption below. So is that the link that they could get in to get that program using the code Imperfect to get that discount?
yeah. Oh, that's the bundle actually. So you get the option trading blueprint and my intermediate course and my advanced one, where I teach you my strategy, like all of it. So
Damn,
now you
you
literally got
giving all of
everything.
that?
Yeah, all of it. Yeah, everything. The beginning. So if you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, you get everything. So literally, you get up to where I am right now. Like literally, it teaches you everything, and you see how detailed I am on this call. This is the half of it. Like when it comes to that, like I was very meticulous about it. So yeah, y'all
And then
get all of that.
what's the discount? What's the discount if they use the code Imperfect?
If you use the code Imperfect, you get, I forgot what number I said. It was like 66% off or sixty five
Yeah,
percent off, I
I think
believe.
you did go crazy with sixty
Yeah,
six
I went
percent off.
crazy. But yeah, you can go 65% off. I think it's 66. Yeah, 66% off. To like literally, if just because I'm tapping with you, I really appreciate it. Like type in the code Imperfect when you at checkout, you literally get it 66% off. I mean, you can't find that anywhere.
So listen, y'all, it's only available for the action takers out of in the Imperfect Action Show community. The link will be below right there in the caption. Make sure you guys follow my guy, CEO Sean, because look, the boy's the youngest entrepreneur we had on the show. We look forward to having him back, and he can teach you a thing or two about stocks, option trading, and the mindsets that you need to have to be an entrepreneur, especially a young entrepreneur. Why young entrepreneurs got it better than the older guys? You know what I'm saying? We will see you
Sure.
guys tomorrow on the Imperfect Action Show, episode 54, on our way to 100 episodes. What I want you guys to understand is this. This episode is sponsored by my program, the Authority Builder. So if you're a coach consultant or course creator and you're stuck on marketing, like maybe marketing is just a hurdle, you just can't really understand it. Well, you definitely want to
Yeah.
tap it because this program will teach you, right? It'll help you get clear on marketing and help you get more clients, sell more, and build that community that you need to actually grow your brand. So if you're stuck on 2K, 3K, 5K, you definitely want to tap in. Let's get you to them 10K, 20K, and 30K months. Sean, I appreciate you for tapping on. We got a spot here
Sure.
for you. Anytime you want to come back, just let your boy know.
Let's get it.
And man, listen, I can't wait till you get to them 200K months, bro. Let's get it.
Let's get it, bro. 200K days, not months.
200K days. Thanks for the correction. 200K days. Let's go.
I bet. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Peace.